Okay, this is gonna be the second video on the Phoenix Rising, which is with documentary film. You can call it trippy ass shit that I was like most of the time. Half of the time I was angry, and half the time I was like, especially in the animation parts. Remember, like Pink Floyd's The Wall, the movie The Wall. Really cool animation and like music, and you're like, what the fuck with the tentacles and the octopus. That's how I feel about this thing. It's like a really lame copy of that type of animation. The animation that is used in the film is, a blonde girl, which is blue-eyed blonde Evan, as little with a little blue dress and the knee socks, and of course it's a reference to Alice in Wonderland, which I think is a really low blow considering that Mason loves Alice in Wonderland. He's been trying to make that movie and get that movie made for more than a decade, so I feel like that's a little bit of a blow. But again, it's to show you how innocent she was, just like Alice on that Wonderland kind of dark, universe, and this thing keeps happening to this girl and she just doesn't know why, just like Alice. Okay, so but way more lame, way lamer. Alice is awesome. So this has been the second part because my last video I already talked about the first 15 minutes, and the way I'm gonna do it, just to not drive myself crazy with my ADD, is first of all, I already say I cannot show any images of her or play any sound. The reason that my last video didn't get put down is because I was playing her voice for less than 8 seconds. So I think I'm not that smart. I think I was just lucky enough to do that and not throw it for a full 20 seconds or so. But I'm not gonna get in trouble because that's not the idea. The idea is to keep doing this and try to do it smoothly as possible. So, but you gotta believe me when I tell you that I watch it 4 times and I have detail in my head and noted on my notebooks, on my tablet, on my notebook, the whole thing. So we're gonna go straight up into the second part. We're done with her childhood and her mom and her dad talking about her and how nice of a kid she was and how she was so artistic. And her father says something interesting that I didn't include on my last video. Her father, he's just looking at the camera, doing the film, and he's saying in this interview, he says, well, one day I was looking at Evan, she was a little kid and she was sitting on some stairs. I looked at Evan and she was talking to herself and doing her own little monologue. And you know what I'm thinking. And that, I mean, it's a father is proud of his kid, and he's gonna say nice thing. But I feel like he kind of like hinted in a subconscious way. What about it? She never stopped. What about it? She never stopped sitting down talking about herself and making shit up and making an internal monologue and this powerful, colorful imagination that she needs to have because she's an actress and she used to be a good actress. So her father saying that is so I know they're trying to make it moving and they're trying to make it emotional by him saying that, but he kind of got stuck, and I kept thinking about it. It's like, why he would say that? He can say, oh, she was always acting, putting on videos at home and putting on characters and being a little actress. Okay, but he said, I looked at Evan once and she was sitting under the stairs talking to herself. And I'm like, dude, you shouldn't have said that. Anyway, so that's what I still think. I think that she still does that. And I don't think it's about money. This is about deeper than that. This is about revenge. This is about her being very embarrassed and ashamed of things that she did with him. Or maybe with other people, we just don't know. And trying to erase that part of her life, I think all of us can say that we have done some questionable things, or especially in our 20s, that we just won't do no more, and we didn't like doing, but we did. And that doesn't mean that we got assaulted. Oh shoot, my heater. I'm going to turn my heater off, and I'm just gonna be right back. Okay, heater is going to be turned off soon. I am freaking cold. But this is worth I don't want to do it with the sound. It's impossible. It's so damn loud. Central heat in LA. Because I'm not wet. And because I got the COVID, We know that in November, and I just don't want to get cold again. I don't want to get a cold. I don't want to get shit. So anyways, I'm trying to stay warm. So the father's saying that. Next, my notes. Okay, here. Next, a lot of emphasis on the age. Okay, so then second part, we're going into the first time that they met, supposedly, which she lied right there. But the first kiss and the first little date, they end up on a hug and a kiss. One kiss, supposedly. I gotta say something about that. When that happened, the kiss happened, she was 18. I don't think it was a big deal that the kiss happened when she was 18. But the reason I'm saying this is because she said on the film, I'm telling you, she contradicts herself 100,000 times. She's saying, well, he gave me a kiss and say, I'm going to miss you. I'm reading this. I'm going to miss you. Because she was about to go out of town to film this movie. Then I looked it up, and when she filmed that movie, she was 18. So this famous kiss, which was probably a little peck, happened when she was 18. But once she returned and started being with him after his divorce, she was already 19, and we know that, right? She turned 19, she's a Virgo. So she turned 19 in September, and they start getting out right after Dita filed for divorce, so she was 19. Doesn't take a math professor to get that. But I wouldn't say that because on my last video, and I keep saying that she was always 19, and no, she wasn't. She was 18 when the first kiss happened. It gets funny now. Well, the whole thing it's funny. She mentions the first meeting that they had. It was a little bit romantic, more romantic than the friendship that they kept having while he was married. Home record. I always thought that she was one, and I never said anything because I was like, who the fuck I am to judge? But now more than ever, we know that. Bad on him too, I guess. I'm not gonna judge his character because she's the one that's doing all this and trying to look like Joan of Arc. So that's what I'm judging, the fact that she was with a married man. If he was the one trying to look, I will be judging him for being, married and messing around. So the first encounter, she talks about they were up on the roof in the Chateau Marmont in LA, was Hollywood, and then they were down, and then they were drinking absinthe, and then they were watching movies. How many movies you can watch in like one night? I don't know. Well, maybe like 2 movies or so, because they were already in a party. Left the party, went to his house. You go to some dude's house when you're only 18. I don't know, where's your mom? I don't know what's up, but that's just wrong right there. On her part, I don't think that he tied her up and drove her down and just tie her up on the elevator. No, she went over. They could have stayed in a public place or not, but she went over. Okay, so they were like doing this, movie watching. They were drinking absinthe and probably other things that she doesn't want to say on camera, but probably coke. And again, she later said that she never did drugs with him. We know that's bullshit. So she said that he gave him a hug. He gave her a hug, and she gave and she didn't reject the hug. And he said, "I'm going to miss you." And in the documentary, she says, before I could even say, "I will miss you too," he got his tongue down my throat. And then I was like, ugh. Not because I think he's gross, I think that she is. In that moment, there's a montage of this little girl that it looks like Evan, and it looks like Alice in Wonderland as well. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of what she's going for, which is a low blow because we know Mason tried to make this Alice in Wonderland movie for the last 2 decades or 15 years at least. So it's a bit of low blow for her to use that. And the little girl has this blue dress and the knee socks and a very little, just little girl look to it. Not an 18 years old, a little girl. This is how she sees herself. This is how she wants you to see her. So she says, he put his tongue down my throat. Right there, she's making it sound like assault. Even if I think, in my opinion, that it was just a kiss. from two people that were gonna miss each other, and they probably had a little crush back then. I don't know if they were in love, whatever. I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss you too. That's it, Evan. That's fucking it. Okay, but she's talking about him going down her throat. In the montage is this little girl. Cute. A little girl, not an 18 looking little cartoon. Probably 7-year-old looking little girl. Just way less than 18 girl. And she has this and there's tentacles. That reminds me of the movie The Wall. This black octopus tentacle is going down it's going inside her mouth, and then this thing wraps it around this black creature. Wraps it around, right? And then after that montage, she keeps talking. If you were a normal person, if you're an idiot, or I'm a normal person, you will be like right there when you watch it, you'll be like, oh shit, oh my God, what's happening to her? And that's what she wants. So she talks about the kiss in a very negative way. God damn it. I found an interview in Spin magazine in 2007. The title is Dark Angel. And she was already doing the brunette Dita thing, or maybe not Dita, whatever. Let's say trying to appeal like the Rose McGowans, the Dita, the ladies that he dated in the past, having to be brunettes and very pale. So anyway, she didn't want to look like a cheerleader anymore. So in this Spin magazine interview from 2007, right? So then she was 19. She talks about how she says to the guy. She says to the interview dude, I love this place because they're having the interview at the chateau. Remember that? Come back to the film. She talks about the chateau and the black octopus kiss, and going up to his house and watching movies and the black octopus kiss. Fuck, man. So it looks like a fucking nightmare if you believe her. You're like, oh shit. But I don't. So none of us do lately. I mean, I don't know anybody, none of my friends, they go like, oh my God, did you hear that shit Manson did? Like, I really don't know anybody. With Johnny, I knew people. And I was one of them at the beginning that were like, oh man, this guy, what a drunk, what an asshole. With Manson, I know he's canceled in a professional sense, unless we count Kanye West. But he's canceled. Manson is more canceled than ever. But I don't hear anybody from like work or around telling me like, oh my God, that Manson, what a motherfucker. I don't hear it. So I'm telling you, this is not going to be good for her. And then she will break eventually. I have this gut feeling, and I'm usually not wrong about this stuff. So many lies, okay, we know. But, okay, black octopus down her throat. So she goes, this is just funny, just a second, I need to drink my tea. Excuse me. I'm a fucking lady after all. So, tea's cold. I need to heat it up. Sometimes I wish I have like an unpaid labor friend, like Esme Bianco, they would just do my tea as an unpaid maid, lover. It's like, want my tea, bitch. Remember that she said she was laboring. Anyway, I'll make another one of her pretty soon. But this, I am obsessed with this because it is obsessed in a way that I'm not like staying up at night, but it needs this needs to be talked about. And I love some of us are talking about it. I wouldn't do this in detail without having to show the images or play the sound. So okay, black octopus, right? But in the Spin magazine, she tells the guy, I love that couch. The guy's like, why? How come? I know, because we all read it back in the day, and now you can find it on the internet, even if you gotta look. We're gonna really look to find this. She says, I love that couch because that's the couch that Manson and I were sitting when we first started hanging out. We were both in a party that both of us never wanted to be really in. We didn't like the party, so we're like kind of on the corner on this couch. There you go. That is actually probably what happened. Okay, jump to 2020. She's talking about being in his house and being kissed against her will. And which I really think it was just a hug and a little back, and that's it. With a married guy, man. Anyway, so she fucks right out there. She thinks the internet doesn't exist. She thinks that people cannot look it up or some. And look at her interviews and just the name of her interviews and the pictures. One thing I'm not going to do, I'm not going to judge the way she looks, and I'm not going to judge, oh my God, because I think that all of us have like that rebellious streak that we're going through in our teens or 20s. I kind of not really didn't have it. I think about it, I didn't have this much fun. But it happens. Sometimes it happens when they're in the 30s, whatever. That we want to look badass, and if we were famous people and giving interviews, we probably would want to look badass. So that's the thing that is so lame about her, that she's trying to play an adult so hardcore when she was with him. She tried to look older. She tried to sound older. She was making movies that were very adult subjects on the movies. But now, in 2020 documentary, I was just a kid. I was so innocent. So right there, to me, is such a hot mess that she's still insisting on the whole I was just a kid thing. Just a kid. Not a kid, a kid. It's weird. So the first encounter, strangely, didn't happen the way she said it happened. I am pretty sure that it didn't. I cannot put my hands on fire and say 100%, but I'm pretty sure that it didn't happen that way. So the timeline of the relationship also is strange, and I figured out earlier why. She's trying to push this whole thing that we were together for 4 years and a half, and I think I know why she's trying to do that. She's trying to say from 2006, which is just, to me, was just a kiss, all the way through 2011. And the reason I think that she's going for that is to match Ashley Walters' filing. And Ashley Walters said in her filing that she was employed by Manson as a personal assistant when Manson was with Evan, and she witnessed some abuse from Manson towards Evan. And that is 2011. So I think that's why they're doing this. I don't believe that they were together in 2011 one fucking bit. I don't know what he was doing in 2011. It was like that high end of the low situation that he was not doing okay, but that doesn't mean he was abusing people. He was just not doing okay, doing his thing, just having a moment. And Ashley Walters, that damn woman, she was at his apartment often, pretty much like she said 24/7 being his assistant. So she met Richard Wood. Ashley Walters talks about in her filing how allegedly she was bringing water and food to Evan because Evan was locked in the bathroom because she was so afraid. That was supposed to be 2011. So that's why she's pushing that 4 years and a half relationship from 2006 to 2011, only because she's trying to match it with Ashley. It's pretty obvious. Like, it doesn't take a math professor to figure that out. I mean, I'm glad that I figured it out last night. It was like, why did she say 2011? So I think that's the reason. If you think it's not, maybe it's not. Maybe we can let me know. What do you think the reason is for the 2011? And if it has a lot to do with Ashley Walters' filing. I think it does. These people are, in a way, they're very well coordinated and very well planned and plotted in a very Machiavellic way. But in a lot of ways, they're fucking stupid. They make these mistakes with dates that it's like, it can be easily debunked by paparazzi. God bless TMZ. Videos of Manson with Lindsay. Videos of Manson walking around with Chloe Black before. And outside when she said she was always locked in his apartment. There's so many things that when you play with dates and numbers, it's really easy to look like a liar. So they should not be doing that. So that's what I think about the timeline. Again, it's funny how she introduces Ilma Gore in the beginning, and she says this, an artist and an activist and friend of mine that helped me build the Phoenix Art Coalition, in which was organized to change the law, blah, blah. Now, one mention of Esme Bianco. I said my last video before. Then as she talks about death threats, and she said, I'm not paraphrasing, she said this. She said, and I have to do this with no support. Another stab in the back through all the other women that were helping her out, and lying on her behalf, because she said no support. And for what I remember, exactly a year ago, oh my God, I said 1 year ago, she got plenty of support on Instagram. So for, she just lies and says that. There's no context given into this comment of her saying, I was given death threats. There's a montage again of, like she's showing a screen, and messages, anonymous messages on the screen. I think I'm supposed to believe this. I don't know. The messages say things like, that's not good, bitch, shut up. I don't recommend for you to talk. Shut your fucking mouth. Shut it, fucking shut it. We know where you live. That's, of course, she's going to use a Marilyn Manson song. You will never be safe, you fucking bitch. She's showing this, trying to hint at one of us, fan supporters or whatever, sending her death threats. I've got plenty of stupid shit from exes or from ex-friends or from even people like, from this thing, saying things to me like that, and on Instagram and whatnot. That's what I'm not on it. That's what I'm not on Facebook, because I get super mad. But I don't take it serious, and she's showing it like she really had people looking through her window and making threats towards her son or something that you will be like, oh shit. She's just showing you a couple of anonymous messages on Twitter. More bullshit. Then Evan shows a picture, and she said, Manson took this picture of me. She's telling Ilma Gore, you can just see how young I was. Oh, I am. Pay attention to the wording. You can see how young I am. I was just a teenager. Ilma Gore says, in this really non-stage conversation, how old he was. Evan says 37. Evan shows a picture of herself and Manson getting tattoos on Valentine's Day, which is February 2007. So then she was 19. And says, while she's looking at the picture, she says, I'm so little when I look at these pictures. I'm like, oh my God, you are like a kid. Ilma Gore says, you are a kid. This is just a bad episode of CSI or something. In this scene, you can see how Evan is clearly looking back at these pictures of herself from the perspective of being now a woman. If we're going to say that she was a kid before. I wasn't a kid at 19, but okay. From the perspective of being a mother right now, and she's trying to sell that to you. She's looking at me like, I was just a kid. Oh my gosh. When I say in the beginning, like I said before, during that time, she was trying really hard not to be a kid. In every interview she was doing about Manson, she was trying really hard not to sound like a kid and sound more like him. So now she's saying, she's looking at pictures of her, she's saying, I was just a kid. Ilma says, yes, you were a kid. It's so delusional. So my point is, if she's teaching young women that at the age of 18 or 19 or 20, you're still a kid and should be treated like a kid, then you read the interviews from those ages, and she sounds nothing like a kid. She's trying to imitate Dita, which was in her 20s there, not a kid. She got her brunette hair, which made her look older. Not ugly, pretty, older, looking older, like a kid. She started doing movies. She was always making fucked up movies, but more of a, like The Wrestler, with a very adult undertone. Not even undertone, like straight up adult movies, rated R. So she was trying really hard not to be a kid, because I think she was trying real hard to be. She was trying to be Rose McGowan. That's what I think. Mostly than Dita, I think she was trying to be Rose McGowan, like that edgy actress that it does only edgy movies. She was trying not to be Amanda Vines or something like that. So, okay, this is the middle part. So I just went on the childhood on my last video. This is the middle part. How old he was, how old I was. Oh my God, I look like a kid. And we were up on the roof, and he put his black octopus tongue on my throat. But no, but actually we were on the couch, and we were, BS. We were out drinking Abstin, and God knows what else. So she's not going to mention dope, because she's not that dumb, but she probably was doing that. As we have people talking here on YouTube, and Christians Colonel Kristen's channel, telling Kristen for reals that, they used to call her Snow White because she was scoring dope for Manson and Manson's friends. So we know that was all BS. That she was, I believe, Snow White. I'm not gonna judge people doing drugs, just like I'm not gonna judge people dating older men, but I'm judging the amount of pathological lying and mental gymnastics that she's going through just to get to this point on this film. So after she made the movie 13, Evans said that she got branded as the troubled teen actress and the Lolita and all that. And she talks about it like it's a bad thing, As we know in the interviews we read from her from the past, she loved that title of Lolita. She loved being the Lolita. But when she talks about the Lolita aspect of her, she got typecast. Okay, and in the documentary, she talks about it like it's a bad thing. In real life, she talks about it like it's a great thing. So more about BS. In 2009, she was after the first breakup, because keep in mind they broke up like 3 times, I think, which is anyway. But I don't blame him, seriously. 2009, it was the first breakup. Eva was interviewed by Vanity Fair to promote her film Whatever Works. Whatever Works is a film by Woody Allen. Yeah, they do the marry his stepdaughter, and that's some pedo shit. I'm sorry. And he's blacklisted. We don't even mention him here. Like there's a reason he doesn't make movies anymore. He's like locked into his New York City apartment playing the saxophone. All right, and God knows what else he's doing. She made this movie with Whatever Works, horrible movie by the way, with Woody Allen, which is a known weirdo. It's sleeky, yikes. She said afterward in 2014 or something that she didn't know about Woody Allen past and perversions or whatever, but she made the movie Whatever Works. In the movie, she is again a really bad movie, supposed to be a comedy, but you're like, I'm not laughing. She is this Lolita character again that falls for an older man, way older, which is played by Larry David. Remember Larry David from Arrested Development? Old, all right, not old like Manson, super more older, like way older. And in this movie, okay, she made this movie, and during the interviews and the press, when actors do this whole campaign promoting the movie they just made, whatever. She was asked about Lolita all the time. She was asked about the movie. She said on campaigns on this movie that she doesn't mind being with older people in general because she was homeschooled, so she was never with people her age, which is a complete contradiction to what she said in the film, saying that the first adult person she was with was Manson. I think it was Edward Norton. But that's just my opinion. And probably other people too, saying that she was only friends with adults, and then saying dating, because I'm reading it, dating older men works for me. And she talks about her having daddy issues because of a strange, weird relationship with her father. She said it right there. And this is while she was dating him in 2009, but during a breakup. But let's pretend, okay, it was a breakup, like they're taking a break, but they were still, she was going around wearing the engagement ring and such, and made this movie with Woody Allen of all people, man. I can't believe it. So then she said, my mother was a little worried when she realized I was reading Lolita and loving it so much. Oh, this is something that she said in another interview for Spin, GQ magazine. I was homeschooled since the 7th grade. I just really don't believe that part either. So I didn't have the required reading. That's not true. That you get when you homeschool. That's not true. You get the same reading, okay? I got to choose which books I wanted to read. Not true. So when my mom noticed I picked up Lolita, definitely made her nervous. She was like, I didn't know you going to be reading that kind of stuff. I was like, come on. It's Lolita. It's a classic. Okay. Also, she said on that GQ magazine interview that she was collecting heart-shaped glasses and she was trying to bring that fashion back. And she loved those glasses. You can say this is kind of stupid for me to mention because it's like, who doesn't like some type of vintage? We all been there. I didn't have the heart-shaped glasses, but we got all the things, that we kind of were obsessed with as adults. That we recognize, we're like, oh my God, I love this movie. I love the movie, The Lost Boys. So I have this leather jacket because I wanted to look like a vampire, example. Yeah, it's not that much of an example because I love the movie Lost Boys and I love leather jackets. But I'm saying that's kind of what was happening to her. And before they met, she was already doing the Lolita thing. And this is not me saying, this is her saying it in well-known magazines back in the day. Then it cuts to another animation of Evan, supposed to be Evan as a 12-year-old girl. Okay. And then she talks about being homeschooled like it's a bad thing, and they put her, they kind of like, not force her, but like she got no other choice but to be homeschooled. And then she said she was homeschooled since 12 years old. In the other interview, she said she was homeschooled at 7. This might just be a little memory slip, whatever, but I don't think it is. Then she talks about looking at her naked body. This is from the movie, the film, the documentary, and feeling that she was not normal when she was naked because she was looking like down there. I hate talking about this, but it's what the movie show. The confusion is displayed in the documentary as her innocent little animated self, this Alice in Wonderland girl, that looks a little bit older, but not too old. Definitely not 12. Maybe the animation looks like 9 or something. I don't know. So this little animation, which is the same little cartoon that got the black octopus around her, which is supposed to represent Mason and his black octopus octopi. This is the same girl, right? The same little cartoon walking down. And she talks about voiceover to this montage of her walking down as a cartoon. She says that she felt really weird. She felt like a foreigner in her naked body, and she didn't know if this was if what she had was normal or not. We know what she's speaking of. This confusion is the better. Okay, then in the animation, which is it's supposed to be the real story, it's really weird. She's walking outside, like she's walking like in a field or something, and she finds a magazine on the ground and looks through it. She's saying, voiceover, that when she looked through the magazine, which is probably her father's ad, she saw a bunch of naked women. So then she felt shocked, but also at the same time she felt good because she realized that she was indeed normal. Because she had a JJ down there. I don't want to talk more because she was just 12 years old, if we're going to believe this happened. You draw your own conclusions on how fucking crazy what I just told you is. And this is on the film. Again, none of us can make this shit up. It's too much. Like, my imagination is good, but ain't not this good. I mean, like, seriously. So then there's more emphasis on how young and manageable and naive she was. At the same time that we know she was making movies with Nicole Kidman. She was not working on the Mickey Mouse Club when she was a kid. She was making PG-14 R, sometimes rated R movies. But in the documentary, she's telling you that she didn't even know what she had down there, so she had to look at magazines to find out. And it's the same little girl that had the octopus around her, which is growing bigger, by the way. And these black tentacles are just coming this time from her. I don't know what that represents. I have an idea of what it does, but my idea is weird. This whole thing is very strange. Again, more emphasis on how young she was, and got tentacles coming in like his throat and then coming out when she was 12. And maybe, just maybe, that's when the abuse happened. The real one. I have a theory that this actually is not that much of a lie, but it didn't happen with Manson, but I think it happened to her. Physical, emotionally. If it happened to her, I'm sorry, it sucks. It's all bad, right? But I don't think it happened to him. Maybe it happened when she was 12. Maybe it happened when she was 16. Maybe it happened with some Hollywood creep that she was working for. She's never gonna tell us, and I do believe that in this lifetime we're never gonna know what the fuck happened, and when did she got abused for reals, and also from the second person that she talks about, which is supposed to be a bartender. And nobody, sorry, no hate on the bartenders out there, but come on, a peasant, just like all of us, non-famous person, but not worth naming, because I guess he got no money and no following and no fame. So we're never gonna know what that guy is. I feel like these tentacles that are coming in and out of her represent how she was becoming dark against her will. I'm telling you again, the movies that she was doing before she met him were fucked up. So in order to work on these movies, I'm not an actress or a writer, but I will think logically. In order to work with those characters, you have to go deep, and you gotta draw it from somewhere. So for her to talk about, like Britney Spears will talk about herself when she was 7 working at the Mickey Mouse Club, that was innocence. Even if to me it's fucked up, that was innocence. She wasn't innocent, okay? I don't know what I have down there. That we see the tentacles coming out. How telling is that? I mean, she's like showing the dark things coming from her this time. I don't know if the person that did the cartoon fucked it up, but they're going in where she talks about Manson, and they're coming out where she talks about herself. This is more of a change narrative over and over, like some type of acid trip that you don't remember. They're like, fuck, I wish I remember what happened that day, but I don't. So I'm gonna make it up, and I'm just gonna have a powerful, colorful imagination and pretend I know what happened when I did acid, and I don't know. I am going back to what her father said about her and how he looked at her and she was talking to herself, creating her own monologue. And I know probably that was said with love. Well, her dad said that in the documentary, but it's like he totally gave us the answer right there, that I do feel that the monologue, internal pathological line, never really stopped. And that's the reason, like I said before, and I'm repeating myself, that she used to be a really good actress, because you gotta have that imagination and that colorful, powerful, whoa type of thought in order to play those characters that she was playing. And she's saying that she was really young, and then we know that she, not only by numbers she was not young, but also by her attitude and the brunette hair and trying to look like Dita and Rose, and associating herself with older people like Mickey Rourke from The Wrestler and Edward Norton. Edward was the same age that Manson, when Manson was with her. Maybe she just likes older men, which is fine, but the fact that she's trying to erase her past completely is insane. So I'm just going to leave it here, and my next one is going to be on the famous heart-shaped glasses music video that she allegedly saying that she got RAPD by him in against her will, and she was out of it. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to put a link below of the video, a minute video that you can actually watch with my link that I found in some French website, because you cannot find it on YouTube. So it's not like I went through a dark web or something, but I have to like kind of dig, and I found it and I watched it a couple of times. I don't like that song that much, or neither the video. I really cannot see what she's talking about. I don't see it. I don't see her out of it. I see her on the video on top of him, not the other way around. So I don't know. You watch it and tell me what you think. And it's pretty gross just because she's in it. But by the way, she was at that moment, she told Rolling Stone magazine, like, because of that video, she was the highest paid actress in a music video ever. And my God. So not only she got paid for it to just do this music video with her boyfriend at the time, but also now she's just having her narrative of what happened in the video, which we're gonna get crew members any day right now, if it already didn't happen, talking about, you know, I was a makeup artist and I saw her and she was not out of it and she was liking the video. I'm gonna talk about phantasmagoria in my next video because that's very important. To us, we know the fans or the people who support him or like him, we know that he was trying to make that film and he was trying to produce that thing and make it happen since forever, maybe since like 2004 or something. So the fact that she throws out there the idea that she helped write Phantasmagoria is so insulting, and I took it super personal because I'm like, oh my god. Also, the fact that the animation looks like Alice in Wonderland is a low blow. And the octopus, you gotta go watch it for yourself. You're not gonna be able to find it unless you pay for it when it comes out. But there's a Stand by Manson and Cancel. There's a couple Instagram pages that they did screenshot, or they showing the octopus that I'm talking about, and the dark tentacles that surround her, where she talks about the kiss, simple kiss between you and the dude that you happen to like at the moment. But okay, because when I had my first kiss, it felt just like a fucking octopus going inside of me or something. You can find that on Instagram. You're not gonna find, well, maybe you are, I don't know, you're not gonna find the sound, maybe you find it, but just if you see the cartoon, you're gonna just laugh and get mad at the same time. I know that's the thing in the movie that I was like more like what the fuck than probably anything else. A bad acid trip. Oh my god, I'm talking a lot, but I made it less than 1 hour. So thank you for watching. If you watch all the way to the end, promise it's gonna be worth it. The next one, I am trying to be more organized. It's hard when I cannot go back to the original because I'm not able to play it anymore, but I make notes and I can still see it, and I talk to people on Instagram and we kind of like talk back and forth, and some people have some of the video. It's hard to put it out here without getting in trouble, so I wouldn't advise you to do that. To just find it some other way, but you kind of get the gist of it and the madness. And yeah, she was 18 when they first kissed, if they first kissed, you know, like she said it happened, but that doesn't mean shit for shit, because when everything else happened, she was 19. When she made the Heart-Shaped Glasses video, she was 19 going towards 20. So it's still fucking immature and insecure and not know about shit about life when I was 19. But not a little 12-year-old girl Alice in Wonderland thing that she's trying to throw out there. So more delusional than ever. I thought she couldn't just get lower and more crazy, but she is. And putting her parents there is so sad. You know, because maybe her mom does believe that this happened. So imagine how worried she had to be. It's awful. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Now I come back. I'm very not looking this serious. I was going to work and I got canceled because of the storm. So, yeah. I can stay at home and just do some of this. And I'm trying to find the camera again. There you go. Goodbye. Good night. Make good decisions. Make good choices. Don't lie. Fucking lie. And I'll see you later. If you can find the animation and you can watch it, it's worth your time. And just think about it. Ask yourself, when you first had your first kiss, you got octopus like things going like inside your throat? Did you? No, we probably didn't. A lot of us are gonna say probably no, it kind of sucked, it felt gross, it felt weird, but it wasn't the darkness coming in and then going out when I realized I have something down my legs, but there was darkness going. It's just really, she demeans herself to the point of just ridiculousness, seriously. Oh my god, my cat wants me to stop. Okay, Lily, I'm stopping. Lily, what? Do you like Evan Rachel Wood? Lily, do you like her? Lily, do you like her? No. She's so cute. She's about to go to sleep. No, Evan. No. Okay, I'm just trying to be funny because this is really disturbing. And I watch it 4 times. I'm like, oh my god, I'm just torturing myself. It's like going back to college all of a sudden. It's like, shit. Anyway, good night. Or good morning. And thank you so much for watching me, and just keep at it and just spread the truth. And now more than ever, don't get fooled by the phoenix rising, phoenix falling. I think we gotta start hashtagging something like that and see what happens. Good night. Thank you.